Man, listen, I'm just really trying to help somebody. And I remember back when I was younger, man, and I used to watch those cartoons, whether it was Tom and Jerry or Flintstones or Ren and Stimpy, whatever those old school cartoons were. And I remember laughing when they had one of those scenes where someone would come up and pull the rug from underneath someone's feet. And that used to make me giggle, and I really found that very amusing until I got older, right? Until I got into my career, until I actually experienced that, not from a a realistic standpoint, but within my career, where I experienced being hired for one thing, but then doing something completely different, right? The job description and the actual job were two different things. Okay. That stuff wasn't funny then. Now, as a DJ, I've experienced quite a few times where, on the phone with the client or one of our consultation calls, the client is giving me their vision of the particular event. And they're saying, yeah, they want this type of music, this type of vibe. And me listening to that, I kind of cater my preparation to what the client needs and what the client wants. But when I get to the actual event, it's a completely different vibe. And so now I'm like, okay, I prepared for one thing. You told me one thing, but now I have to do something else. So this isn't what I was hired to do. A lot like the career example, or even still as a DJ, there's been plenty of times where in the wedding situation, again, having that phone call, or those series of phone calls, the series of different types of communication with the client, they're saying this, they're saying that, they want this, they want that. I get there to the actual event, to the actual wedding, and I've been in situations where I had to play the role of the coordinator at the wedding. Again, this isn't what I was hired to do. I was hired to be your DJ, not hired to be your wedding coordinator. So here's the thing. From the career standpoint, a lot of us are going through the exact same thing. You were hired to do one thing, but then somewhere in there, someone pulled the rug from under your feet, and it put you in a situation where you're just not comfortable, right? You feel overwhelmed about what's going on. You feel undervalued about what's going on. And then the expectations has a nerve to be overtaxing. Right now, not everybody has gone through this, but there's plenty of people who are. In my research, I realized that there's so many people who are going through the misalignment of the job description and then reality. So here's what I want to do. I just want to give you all a couple of tips that hopefully those people who are in those situations, hopefully this will help you. Now, some people really enjoy being in this situation. And it's two frames of thoughts. You have the people that saying, man, I'm not doing what I was hired to do. So therefore, I'm not really reaching my potential. Therefore, I'm not allowing this company to reach its full potential. And then you have some other people that's like, oh, I'm not doing what I'm hired to do. However, I am gaining some new skills. I am, expanding my horizons. Now, these ideologies are perfectly fine, whichever one you want to take. But like I said, in the research that I've done and the people that I've talked to in my own experience, I know how it feels to be hired for one thing and then get hit with that okie doke to be expected to do something else. So I want to hit you with 3 different tips that can help you navigate through this situation. If you are going through this situation, one of the things I want you to do, I want you, first of all, to maintain your professionalism. Now, this is very important because you may sense a certain level of frustration about what you're doing on a daily basis. You may be one of those people that say that the more you go to work, the less you know what you're doing because you're not doing what you have been hired to do, what you've trained all your career to do, what you've been preparing to do. But you have to maintain your professionalism because your professionalism, whether you realize it or not, your professionalism is going to open or close future doors. Now, I'm not sitting here and telling people what to do when you're in these situations, whether to stay or whether to resign, that's totally up to you. I'm not here to tell you that. That all depends. That's a personal decision. But your professionalism is going to determine what happens next. So make sure you stay professional. The next thing I want you to do is make sure you keep your line of communication open. Make sure you communicate your concerns to your particular manager or the person that your direct line of leadership. It's very important that you keep these lines open and that you communicate effectively about how you feel about what's going on. Now, what you can't get caught up in is the response of the leader. Hopefully you're working for a leader and working with a leader who has empathy, who has understanding, who has active listening skills, all of those emotionally intelligent type skills. Hopefully you're working with a leader that's like that, because they're going to sit down with you and they're going to have that conversation, again, deepen that level of communication, and hopefully you all will be able to come to a solution that's going to benefit you and that's going to benefit the organization. The third thing I want you to do as you're going through all of this, I want you to reflect and to learn what you're going through, because your reflection, your self-reflection, your self-awareness, your self-regulation, what you're learning through this process is going to determine how you find your solution. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to do or tell you what your solution should be, but I'm here to give you a few tips to help you get to that solution in a smoother manner. All right. So listen, whether you're looking for career coaching or whether you're looking for someone to come in and talk to your organization, talk to your department, talk to your team, feel free to reach out to me directly. I am Dr. Daryl Crosby, or some people know me as DJ Cross of Encore Music and Entertainment. But either way, I'm here to get you to the next level of your career.
Your next level, next level. Show you heights you've never seen before. Ooh, I want to take you to your next level. Next level. Open up a whole new world to explore. Oh, I'm not here to change who you are, but to help